Hey there, folks. How you doing? Peter Hartman here. Just wanted to go live a little bit during the day. What do we got here? What do we got here for you? Oh, don't lose that, Peter. December 31st. It is right now. It is 3:30 p.m. and I just wanted to take a moment out of my day to talk to you, to ask you, how was your day? How was your day? Did you have a good day? You have a great day? A terrible day? So-so day? Did you have a sleepy day? What kind of day did you have today? I just want to talk to you, see how you're doing, check in on you. It's really good to take a moment out of your day to just reflect on how things went, right? Just to reflect on how life has been going for you today. Because once you pay attention to your day, if you remain awake to your day, if you give your day your attention, you can make tomorrow better. See, sometimes I feel like, I don't know if this happens to you, but you feel like, oh, I don't really want to pay attention to what's going on. I don't really want to look at what's happening in my own experience. I don't want to pay attention to my day because then I'm going to get bummed out. Then I'm not going to feel so good. I'm going to be judgmental. I'm going to be critical of myself, and I'm not going to feel good. And that's the last thing that I want for you. I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want you to feel critical. What I want you to do is to recognize that how paying attention actually helps you tomorrow. Might not help you today to feel the greatest, depending on what happened with your day and how you're focused on that, but it can make tomorrow way, way better. Now the question is, how much do you care about tomorrow? See, the story of success, one of the ingredients of success, crucial ingredients, is foresight. It's being able to see into the future. To the degree that you can see into the future, you can shape your now experience, your now actions, your now behaviors in order to gain in the future. And so the successful people out there in the world, the people that you admire, the people that you look at, whoever they are, they have the ability to see into the future, to think ahead. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody wants to do that, right? There's the ability to do it, and then there's the desire to do it. Not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody wants to look ahead because it's a hassle. It takes a lot of energy. And isn't it better to just live in the present moment? The present moment is absolutely wonderful, but the reason you want to be in your present moment is because it gives you all of the advantage, all of the power that you could possibly have in order to shape your future. Why do people tell you that you have to be in the now? Why do folks say you have to be in the present moment? The reason they say that is because the present moment, now, is the only time you have any power. You don't have power yesterday, and you don't have power tomorrow. The only power that you have is now. You can make a choice right now, today. So you want to pay attention to your now so you can use your power, right? That makes sense. So when I ask you how was your day, this is not me putting a judgment on you or asking you to be critical about your experiences. This is me challenging you to make a new decision now so that tomorrow can be even better. So, I don't know. How was your day? Let me see what's going on my screen here. Just want to close that. All right, for some reason, okay, I think I have access to the chat. That's why I ask you about how was your day, because it's important. Carpe diem, seize your day to whatever degree. And one of the last things I do when I go to bed at night is that I reflect on my day and ask myself how it went and how I can make tomorrow better. Do I always put those insights into practice? No. There's something in marketing that I learned recently where if you ever wonder why you get the same ads and messages bombarded all the time, like why do they have to run their ads on TV so often? Why are the ads online there all the time? Why is it every place I go to there's got to be an ad? Why am I getting spam in my email? Well, it turns out that it takes about 7 reminders, 7 times for an ad to be placed before your eyes before you hook into it, right? If I show you an ad once, doesn't stick. Twice, doesn't stick. You need 7 times. Isn't that surprising? I was surprised by that. In marketing, they say, hey, don't be afraid to go out there and sell yourself and pitch yourself and tell other people. You're like, oh, but I already told them once, twice. I mean, how much times? I don't want to bore them. I don't want to bombard them. I don't want to knock them over with my advertising. Well, it's going to take about 7 times for it to like sink in for most people, right? And so you might look at your day and analyze your day, and here's how I can make my day better. And then tomorrow you don't do it. And then the next day you think about your day, you analyze your day, you think, how can I make tomorrow better? And then the next day you don't do it. But don't discourage, because every single time you do that, you're just reinforcing your willingness to pay attention to your day, uh, your your analytical mind that is able to judge that day, and then your willpower setting into action the next day. And every time you try and fail and try and fail and try and fail, you're actually moving ahead. You're moving ahead incrementally. You are making progress. It might take 7 days, it might take 7 tries, but eventually your days will get better. So don't get discouraged. Don't be overcritical. Don't judge yourself. Do your best. You might fail, but keep it up. Persistence is key. All right, that's what I want to say about how was your day. Who we got in the chat here? Tom says his day was busy. Adds work on Melissa Hartman immediately. Melissa, your wife, you're throwing your wife under the bus, adds work on her immediately? I don't think so. Tom's day was busy. I was busy with Tom last night. Upcoming in this broadcast, last night actually we wanted to go live and to talk about a few things, talking about finance, Bitcoin, business in the future, stuff like that. A segment we call Jumpstart. That's with Tom Hartman. But we couldn't go live. I'm using the Mac M1, and there's a feature, NDI feature. I won't bore you with that, but it doesn't do that. So we recorded it, and I'm going to play the recording for you in just a moment. So if you're interested in that, you can stay tuned for that. Tom says, Xander said hi on YouTube, FYI. Hi, Xander. He said hi on YouTube. I wonder why I'm not seeing that. Let's see real quick. Why is YouTube not connected? Appearance, no, that's not it. That's not it. Not sure why it's not working. We got YouTube here. Testing. Can you see this, Xander? All right, I don't know why it's not showing there, but Samantha says, play the clip. Melissa Hartman is saying, replying to Tom Hartman, it's actually true. Though I prefer to think of it as me being super aware of and open to all things. Super aware of and open to all things. You know what? I hear where you're coming from, Melissa. You get influenced by ads immediately because you're paying attention. You're super aware, and that makes sense. You might want to avoid watching standard television, right? The commercials come on every 15 minutes. It's really annoying. Samantha says she sees my message on YouTube. Okay, that's cool. All right, well, look, I don't know. Xander, I really appreciate you commenting there. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate everybody watching. Tom is saying play the clip. All right, hang on. Before I play the clip, I want to let you folks know a little bit about what's coming up for Happy for Change in the new year. We're going to be talking about that later on tonight at 7 p.m. when I'm on with Samantha Barley. But I just want to let you know, I have a principle called the Making Millionaire Principle. Making Millionaire. And that idea is very simple. We can get enough people together, let's say 1 million people together. You really only need about 400,000, but 1 million people together to donate, $1 or $2 towards a person, making them a millionaire. And we can find any kind of reason or excuse to do that. If you want to participate in making a millionaire, definitely follow Happy for a Change. One of the ways we're going to be using the Making Millionaire principle, one of the first projects we have coming up is Black Money Matters. So if you haven't heard me talk about it in previous videos or previous streams, get excited about it, get interested in it. We're going to make a Black millionaire every week. That's our ultimate goal. And we can do that simply with the power of social media and with the tools available to us. It's quite simple, actually. So that's in order to tackle the sense of hope and optimism that's required for the Black community. It's a way of providing some type of inflow of capital and money and wealth to Black communities and helping people who may or may not be disadvantaged. So if you're interested in helping Black folk, especially in North America, stay tuned. And then lastly, I want to remind you about the Happy for a Change audience. Happy for a Change, its ultimate goal is to create the largest online audience of people, willful, deliberate people who care about the world and are willing to do something small in order to make change happen. We're going to use the power of social media in order to shape the world. I know. Everybody's talking about how bad social media is. It's so addicting. Well, we're on it. It's a double-edged sword. It's like fire. It can kill you, it can burn you, and it can also cook your food. So we're going to use the power of social media in order to do great things. So if you want to join the audience, go over to facebook.com/happyforchange and join the Happy for a Change audience right there. We already have a few hundred people, and we're looking to increase that even more. The bigger the audience, the more power we have. If you want to have some fun in the new year, I encourage you to join the audience. And then lastly, just a reminder that Samantha Barley, self-discovery life coach extraordinaire, and I will be on tonight at around 7 p.m. doing a live show where we're going to be talking about the future, talking about lifestyle, wellness, giving you some tips, having some fun. Bad Guru will be making an appearance, doing some stand-up, doing some jokey, talky, ranty. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right tonight. Right here. So youtube.com/happyforachange, facebook.com/happyforachange. Subscribe and like and hit the little bell so that you get notified when we go live, because I'm planning on going live very, very often. All right, it's time to play the clip. The next clip coming up is a segment called Jumpstart with Tom Hartman. We talk about Bitcoin. We talk about business in the new year. Let's get that going. Play the clip. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Great. How's it going, P?
It's good to talk to you. Tom, I'm so lucky that you're my brother. You're the best brother. You support me in everything that I do. But I'm especially lucky because you understand about finance, about the economy, about markets, about marketing and all that stuff, business stuff. So I thought you'd be the perfect person to talk to bring our Jumpstart series to the Bad Guru Nightly Show. A little segment where we can talk about business, talk about money, talk about all those good things. So you up for it?
I'm totally on board. I mean, you'll remember that just maybe a year and a half ago, it was like, why is Tom interested in this? And now all of a sudden, people are interested in Tom's opinion about finance and investing and personal finance. It's great.
It's great. Well, look, when you're doing, when you achieve some success, it's good to, people want to know. People want to know. And that's why we're talking about it here today. So in our segment, Jumpstart, I wanted to talk to you about, I'm going to get an update on the Bitcoin conversation we had, right? We did some videos about Bitcoin. If you haven't seen that, you can go check that out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/happyforachange, or you can go to youtube.com/happyforachange, check out the videos there. We talked about Bitcoin. When we did the first video, I believe Bitcoin is at 9,000. What is Bitcoin at today?
Bitcoin today, yeah, that was like 9,000 US. So right now I believe it's at around 29,000 US. So yeah,
perfect. Yeah, 28,740.
That's a pretty big gain on that one.
So if you had put money in when we did our video, you'd have more than doubled your money by now.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like close to 3 times.
Close to 3 times the money minus the fees. So I'm not saying, and you're not saying, we never say Bitcoin is some guaranteed thing. We call it the Bitcoin bet for that
Bitcoin's
reason,
a guaranteed thing. It's definitely going to $1 million per Bitcoin. And if you don't have any Bitcoin now, it's a problem. I mean, you're feeling the pain now. You can feel the pain in the future. So just, liquidate everything that you have and put all your life savings into Bitcoin.
Well, look, you're joking, but there is speculation out there by very intelligent people that Bitcoin will possibly go up to $1 million in 6 years from now.
Well, that's the thing, right? As we mentioned inside the videos for Bitcoin, if you're gonna be buying any Bitcoin thinking, oh, it's gonna go to $1 million, we're gonna make a ton of money, and I'm gonna be rich, don't do that, right? That's not what this is. Really think of it as a lottery ticket. You think of it as a lottery ticket that you buy once and doesn't expire, all right? Or the expiry date, there's no expiry date, the expiry date isn't soon. So when you think about it in that sense, people are fine with spending sometimes hundreds of dollars a month on lottery tickets. Fine, let Bitcoin be one of those things, and if it pays off, it pays off. But I mean, it is nice to know at what price at Bitcoin would you be willing to sell. But that's not who we're talking to, right? We're talking to people right now that's like they have 0 Bitcoin and they're wondering if they should get in at all. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a financial advisor, but as far as I'm concerned, yeah, if you have 0 Bitcoin, that's exactly the wrong amount of Bitcoin to have. So put a few bucks inside.
Put a few bucks inside.
Yeah.
We were talking before a few days ago about a potential dip coming into Bitcoin. You know how people like to wait for the price to go down a bit so they can buy in. Is there a dip coming? Is that a strategy worth doing? Waiting for it to go down before you buy in?
So dip buyers, if you're going to buy something on a dip, it's because you have an expectation that the price is going to move not too significantly. Let's say you think the stock will move 30% up 30% over the next 2 years or 3 years. So you're trying to buy a dip because you'd rather try to get the lowest price possible, get that 30% and get out. So you're expecting to, buy at the bottom and sell at the top of the move. And that works if the price volatility, if the fluctuations of the price isn't very dramatic, right? Then you want to get in a little bit. So you don't want to be the guy who bought it and you're only now getting a 3% increase in your return, right? That's not exciting. That's not why even bother doing that. Well, when something is moving parabolic, right? Then waiting for a correction, waiting for a dip, waiting for the price to suddenly drop to get in is dangerous. Because what happens is that it can move drastically, as we saw, right? If you were at 9,000, you're like, okay, I'm going to wait till it drops to 4,000, buy some, and then write it up. Well, you've been waiting. You've been waiting now almost a year, actually, 8 months. And you're not getting that dip, right? The idea that it's going to drop right now from $28,000, $29,000 down to $4,000, down to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, I wouldn't bet on that. And so these people waited on dips to get into Bitcoin when they have none at all. You could be waiting all the way to 70,000. Now, if what you're looking for is a percentage return, if you're like, okay, I'm going to get into a thing, I'm going to wait till it goes up 20%, 50%, 100%, whatever it is, whatever your number is, and then sell it, then yeah, wait for some big dip in Bitcoin, buy it then, and then write it up. But it's already moved so significantly, and it seems like it's going to keep on moving that direction. You could be waiting a very, very long time. And if you find it difficult to buy now at $29,000, you're going to find it difficult to buy at $100,000, at $200,000. Can you imagine if Bitcoin's $1 million and people go, I'm going to wait for it to dip to 950,000 before I buy a little bit? Like, it'd be crazy, right? And that's the sort of situation we're in right now. People are like, they didn't buy it when it was at $10, at $100, at $1,000, at $5,000, but they're going to wait till it goes a little bit lower than 29 to buy in. It's like, come on. You want to be poor forever?
I like that. You don't know how much Bitcoin people should have, but 0 is definitely not the right amount. I really like that. That's funny to me.
Not my line. It's a Bitcoin credo. You buy it, you hold it, and you don't think about it. I mean, people do that with government bonds. People do that with gold. People do that with comic books. People do that with all kinds of different things. They just buy it and hold it and go, okay, if it's worth something later on, fine, I'll sell it. But you don't buy Bitcoin like you buy a Microsoft stock, right? You're not waiting for earnings report to come out to find out what the CEO of Bitcoin did. Like, that's not what this is. This is you're betting that something interesting and new and magnificent is happening, and it is.
And we'll be talking about that more as we go forward. We've already talked about Bitcoin a little bit. Like I mentioned, you can go check out that footage, those video clips on our channel, youtube.com/happyforchange. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about Bitcoin. I just have one more question to ask you. It came up in conversation
$100,000 by August. $100,000 by August is the current estimate for Bitcoin, just to let you know.
And that's not a joke.
No, that's the estimate. $100,000 valuation per Bitcoin by August 2021.
All right. So if you're going to get in, you're going to get in. I like that. It's like, there's the girl that you were interested in high school, and she has a boyfriend, and then she dumps that boyfriend in high school, and then you're thinking, oh, I want to go and ask Stacy out on a date, but let me give her some breathing space. Let me give her some room. I don't want to be the rebound guy. And then you wait, and then somebody else comes in and snatches up Stacy, and you're like, I should have took my shot when I could.
Exactly.
Last question on Bitcoin. We'll keep it short. We'll keep it short. Bitcoin Ponzi scheme. Yes or no?
I mean, maybe, right? Maybe it's a Ponzi scheme. My answer to that is the same thing as everything else. The whole economy is one big Ponzi scheme, right? We're in one big massive bubble, one big massive scam. We all know this, right? There's a reason why you can't buy a milkshake for a nickel anymore, because the money is like eroding in value. So yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme, or it could be a Ponzi scheme. So what? The only problem with the Ponzi scheme is being the last guy in. You don't want to turn the lights out. Don't
right.
put all
That's
the
gonna be
money.
bad thing.
Don't put all your life savings in. Put money in that you'd be willing to waste. If you spend $1,000 on fast food and restaurants or whatever for 6 months, fine. Forego that for 6 months. Put that money in, and if it doubles, then you're happy. If it doesn't, okay. Well, it was money you're gonna poop out anyway.
Money you're gonna poop out anyway. You might as well put it in a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That might go the way of the shitter, but at least that's more worthy than your espresso. One of the reasons I want to talk about Bitcoin is because of the changing world that we're in. Right, the world has been transformed by the pandemic. It's affecting businesses, and I want to talk about Bitcoin because to me it looks like an avenue that can be a type of life raft for some people who are able to do it. I actually believe, I'm not like you. I don't know all the details, but from what I understand, it seems like the economy, the way money works is going to be shifting over to Bitcoin in large part. So if you didn't like the old system, you might want to get in earlier into the new system.
I don't think it's going to shift to Bitcoin, but there is a shift happening, and we don't know what it'll be like over the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, that's usually the case, right? Every 5 years, it's like all the predictions go out the window, and so we don't know what it'll be. And buying Bitcoin is sort of like a bet on. Well, I don't know what it's going to be, so let me hedge myself a little bit. Let me be a little bit more cautious.
Gotcha. All right. What's ahead for business in the new year? 2021 is coming up. We were in a restaurant just the other day. I mean, we went to go pick up some food at an Indian restaurant here in Montreal downtown, and it's just dead quiet in there. And you told me you like to support these businesses, but I mean, how much can you do? They make most of their money through liquor, right? Nobody is going in there. So the face of business is changing. What can we expect for business as we move forward into 2021? Large picture. I mean, we don't know for sure, of course. We don't know all the details. We don't know the facts. Is the vaccine gonna work the way we expect and we can go back to work? Or is this new strain coming in from the UK gonna, slow everything down? Are we gonna get back to normal in the summer, in the spring? Are we gonna get back to normal 2 years from now? Like what? So we don't know those details, but when it comes to business, you're a business owner, whether it's a restaurant or whatever it is, what do you think people should sort of expect or look out for in the coming year?
Great question. So you sort of want to the short answer to that, and a practical answer that anyone can do, is that you use yourself and those you interact with regularly as your barometer, right? There are certain things in the current climate that you are more likely to buy, or certain things that expenses that you had that you're definitely not going to cut, and there are certain behaviors that you're just not going to do. You're not going to go to restaurants. You're not going to go socialize with a bunch of people. Maybe you can't because of the regulations in your area, whatever it is. So you can use your own interactions with businesses and different industries as your barometer. If you feel that you are less likely, let's say you're thinking about going to the dentist, and you think to yourself, well, maybe I'll wait on my dentist appointment till later on. You can reasonably assume that a certain percentage of other people are doing the same. If you're thinking to yourself, well, the restaurants are open now, but I'm going to wait another 3 to 6 months to see, I just feel like waiting to see what the vaccine, how that runs its course. Then you can reasonably assume that a certain percentage of other people are doing the same. So when you think about the supply and demand side of this, like, everything boils down to supply and demand. The demand you can sort of feel, right? You can sort of sense yourself to some measure, to some degree, for the industries that you deal with. So if there's less demand, you can imagine that prices will fall, opportunities will fall, jobs will fall, deflation will occur. On the other side, for supply, you can imagine that if you feel this way and you don't have a business, imagine you had a business and you had 50 people that you employed, right? And you were sort of like waiting to see how everything would go, you might think to yourself, well, I can't really keep all these people on the payroll. I'm gonna have to downsize a little bit more, even just to be cautious, even just to make up for money that you lost the previous year, right? Even if your business is not completely suffering, you don't know what the future is going to be like. So you can imagine that on the supply side, the amount of services and products that are going to be offered, the inventory that's there, it might be less than what it is. Doesn't mean that you'll go to the store and the products won't be there. No. But it might mean that the company went from 50 employees to 40 employees. So there's more people out in the job market, more people looking for jobs. It might be harder if you're looking for a job to find one. So maybe don't quit your job right away before you find one. You might have, 2 years ago, you might have quit and just thought about giving yourself a year to figure out what you want to do. Maybe now don't quit, right? Maybe you were an employee in the company and you were given 80% of your effort. Maybe now give 95% of your effort to make yourself a little bit more indispensable. So that's how I would think about navigating this uncertainty over the next year as we figure out how people are feeling, how people are thinking, and what kind of decisions they're making for the future business-wise.
When we talk about Jumpstart, which is our series on Happy for a Change about business that helps business, we deal with existing businesses as well as new businesses. I heard recently something that kind of shocked me, which is, and you'll tell me if this lines up with your thinking, that in a recession and in these hard times, it's actually the best time to start a business. Does that make sense?
So if you can start a business, if you have the wherewithal and if you're able to turn a profit in the lowest point, then you are far more likely to gain over time. So the caveat there is that if you're irresponsible when money was flowing, well, you're not going to be any better now, right? You have to be responsible. You have to have some conscientiousness in order to be able to set up that business. But given that, let's say you're able to do that, starting at the bottom of a recession or as you're headed into a recession really gives you the chops, right? It lets you set up your business in such a way that you're prepared for worse news to come. And when good times start rolling, well, you've already hit the ground running, right? You're already have this momentum, where someone else, right, who's waiting for an uptick in the economy, they might be 6 months, a year and a half behind you. So it's great to do that. But also, as there's a nervousness, a reticence that goes when you're headed down into a recession. People are sort of cautious, right? You can imagine going downhill really, really quickly. When you get down to the hill, you're like, okay, let's ease down. Let's make sure that everything's fine. Let's go up the next hill. And once there's a consensus that things are looking up, where people expect tomorrow to be better than it is today, then the propensity to spend and to try new things increases. And if you're there if you're already around when that's happening, you can really get a great boost. You can really make a lot of. That's why people buy a stock at the bottom, right? You wait till it dips, you wait till some bad news happens and the stock drops 20%, then you buy it because you know the fundamentals, the what the company's offering, the employees, the management of the company is good. So then when it takes off, you get to ride that back up. So if you look at the Tesla, right? They had that period where their stock came down to like very low. I think they were trading at $175 at the time, and then they exploded. If you don't count the stock split, now they're at like $200 per share, right? So if you bought it at the big dip and you rode it back up, you're really happy with what you did. And that's sort of the same thing as starting a business at the bottom of a recession, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Thank you so much for that. I didn't say your titles at the beginning of the segment, so I'll just let people know. Tom is a web programmer and a marketer here in Montreal, Canada, and he's quickly becoming my favorite guy, one of my go-to guys, IRL, to talk to about business and money and things to come. Thank you so much for your time, Tom, and happy holidays.
You too, and happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness, I just found out. Oh, let me turn this on. I just found out that you can hear me in the background when I'm talking. There's some type of microphone picking me up, so I'm sorry if I ruined the thing there. We'll replay it to make sure that you guys get a clean copy. That's it. Thank you, Tom, for Jumpstart, for giving us a peek into 2021 when it comes to business. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you heard me talking in the background, totally sorry about that. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom. I'm just talking very loudly. But that's it. We're going to be on tonight at 7 p.m. So this was just a little bit of fun that I was having during the day. But tonight we're going to be doing Bad Guru Nightly as well. Bad Guru will be here doing a little bit of stand-up, ranting, all the stuff that he does. Samantha Barley will be talking life coach stuff and tips for the new year. And, of course, Peter Hartman will be there to host the whole goddamn thing. Thank you to everybody who's listening and watching. Xander, Melissa, Tom, everybody who's in the chat, everybody who participated. Thank you so much. Some of these comments are really funny. Join the Happy for a Change audience over at facebook.com/Happy for a Change. All you have to do is join the group that's there. You can also just go to YouTube and youtube.com/Happy for a Change. Hit like and subscribe over there. Hit the little bell so that you know when we go live. And of course, if you're watching this on Facebook, you know what to do. Follow, hit that little bell. That's it for me. And I'll be seeing you later. I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Ciao.